And away we go. It is the Nightcap, brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken right here on BearcatJournal.com. www.galacticfriedchicken.com. Go to the website. Don't need the app anymore. Just go to the website. They would deliver right to the front door, pretty much anywhere inside the 275 loop, or make your way down to Dayton, Kentucky. Tell them to pump it up. Save yourself 15% off of the Galactic goodness. It is out of this world. Hi, Aaron.
Yo.
How you doing?
It's Sunday.
It's been a long day.
Ready to relax.
It's been a long day. The Apex 13 ones did not have a good Sunday.
Well, started. At least you got to sleep in.
No, not today. I got to sleep in barely on Saturday.
All right.
But my kid woke me up and wanted to fill time by going to the mall. We didn't play until 3. We didn't have to be at the gym until 2. And she wakes me up at 9. Hey, let's go to the mall.
9 is sleeping in. I don't know when the last time was I saw 9 when I woke up.
You go to bed a lot earlier than I did on Friday night.
I have a baby.
So this tournament, there were like 6 teams from the club that were there, and we all don't get to see each other. Like obviously, our group of parents get to see each other, but there was a larger group. We were playing euchre until like 2:00 in the morning Friday, and then Kelsey woke me up bright and early, and wanted to go
I
to the mall.
stayed up till about that playing PS5 last night.
That was when we stopped playing euchre. I didn't say that was when I went to bed. That was when the euchre game was done. But anyhow, up early this morning. The girls had a rough day. The 0-2. The first team they played was better than them, but I think they let it carry over into the second game. Dropped the first set, won the second set, and then I think they lost 15-12 in the third. So 0-2 day, 3-hour drive home, and here we are. I just got home a little bit ago, ready to knock this out. So
let's do it.
I'm going to lean on you because I've seen scores. I followed as much as I could, but I didn't get a whole lot in person yesterday. Houston avenges one of their 3 losses on the season. Texas gets spanked 82-61. Jamal Shed pushes a triple-double, 16 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists.
LJ Cryer with 26.
If Houston has a reason to be angry, they're angry and they beat the crap out of you. It's kind of what they do. And they had a reason to be angry with Texas getting a win earlier in the season. I mean, we'll get to it in a little bit.
Close.
No, it was
never close.
What, 40-27 at halftime? They win the second half 42-34. It was in this league. That is a bloodbath. That is just an absolute slaughter in this league to lose by 20. Kansas goes into Norman, knocks off Oklahoma 67-57. This is a game Oklahoma had a double-digit lead near the end of the first half. Kansas started their run there. It did not stop. They dominate the second half 38-23, and they win 67-57. Hunter Dickinson with 20 and 16. We kind of saw this coming, didn't we? You and I?
Well,
Kevin talked about this.
Kevin McCullough's bach, so Timberlake's back on the bench, and the bench offered you a whopping 2 points, two rebounds,
which is right about their season average off the bench. 2 points,
2 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. What a day by your bench!
I mean, that's big production
in 22 minutes.
Yeah, for their bench this year, that's right about that's pretty good for them.
That's dreadful. But yeah,
that's how bad their bench is.
We did see this coming. We didn't we're not Oklahoma believers, and nothing's really changed outside of Kansas getting one on the road, which it's not been easy for them to do, truthfully, through a lot of conference play.
Iowa State train keeps on rolling. 82-74. They wipe out Texas Tech. They force 16 turnovers and pretty much controlled this game from start to finish. The thing is, like, Iowa State or Texas Tech shot 45% from the floor. They shot 81% from the line. They did have a bad night from three, which if you're going to beat Iowa State, they give you the three and they dare you to make them. And Texas Tech did not. But man, you know, Aaron, I love this Iowa State team. They're so good.
Yeah. Pop Isaac's
So good.
still not right. He is still not right. 2 of 11 from the field, 0 of 7 from 3, 8 points on the day. He was the 5th leading scorer of their starters. Dead last.
Can we call him Popped Isaacs? Like his balloon is popped. Pop Isaacs. Pop
I still
Isaacs.
like flop. I still like flop Isaacs.
Flop Isaacs. Yeah, it's great. It's so good. So good.
McMillan on the bench, or McMillian, I guess McMillian. 10 points, had more than Flop Isaacs. So
yeah, I mean, look, if your number one guy goes in a slump like this, I wonder if the Texas Tech fans are calling for him to be taken out back and put out of his misery. That's what happens when your leading scorer goes in a slump, right? You take him out back and put him out of his misery. Monday night, man. I am after 9:00. You guys are on your own. I'll be there in spirit, but you're going to see this from me Monday night during the BBP.
So we're just not doing a mailbag.
I mean, we can still do it. I mean, I can talk like this, but I'm going to be watching Iowa State at Houston. That for me is that is the epitome of can't miss television for a basketball junkie.
I wonder how Kansas State and Texas feel about having their game moved from ESPN to ESPN2 and that game being at the same time.
Yeah.
Ah!
Well, they changed. It was supposed to be supposed to be an 8:00 ESPN Plus game, and ESPN said, "You know what? We're going to move that one to 9, and we're going to put it on the Big Boy Network because that's the game of the year in this league. Those are the two best teams."
If only Texas had their own channel.
Shots fired. Look, man, we'll get to it. Baylor just rolls offensively, 94-81 at West Virginia, 42 in the first half, 52 in the second. Ray J. Dennis, 18 points, 8 assists, and that Baylor offense is starting to cook again. They hit a little dip, but they're starting to cook again and getting hot towards the end of the season.
6 players in double digits for Baylor. 6 players. Yeah. That's crazy.
They made 12 threes, 37.5%. They shot 53% from the floor. And 37.
None is out of his mind right now.
Yeah.
None's been out of his mind for about the last 3 games. He's shooting the lights out.
Well, Jacoby Walter gets 23. Not quite as efficient as Nunn was. Nunn goes 7 of 11 from the floor, 5 of 9 from 3 for 20.
Shooting lights out.
When you get a guy that scores 18, as Dennis did, and he's your 3rd leading scorer, you had a good day.
Yep.
You had a real good day. Baylor's starting to heat up a little, as you would expect from a Scott Drew team as we get into mid-February. Oklahoma State comes to town on Wednesday. They put 93 on BYU, 49 in the first, 44 in the second. And, I mean, We know, Aaron. We know. We've been telling you.
They're trying to tell us in the chat. Other teams, other fans coming from other teams, trying to tell us Oklahoma State isn't who we think they are. I beg to differ.
We have
all five starters scored double digits. It's a good day.
Look, here's the thing. When compared to the rest of the Big 12, is Oklahoma State bad? Yes. But if you've watched Oklahoma State play, they are not bad.
I don't think I want to say bad. I just want to say that they're just inexperienced. They're young.
Yeah. Look at some of their scores. Like they're objectively not good, Aaron. We can't make an argument that Oklahoma State is good. Their metrics and their record show that they're not good. But there's talent there. And if you let them get up and down the floor and run on you all day, like BYU did to the tune of 93 points, they can beat you. You cannot sleep on Oklahoma State Wednesday night. I'm just saying.
And a Cincinnati team that's struggled at home.
Yeah.
So,
speaking of big scoring outputs and a half, we will close out with TCU 75 at Kansas State 72.
Told you this was going to be the most interesting game.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't argue with you. I mean,
no, you said it felt weird. You agreed. It
felt weird, and it was weird. And TCU sneaks it out. TCU is getting back on track and playing well after a little bit of a not even a slump, just a little inconsistency, especially home road. But they go to Kansas State. I think it's going to be really tough for Kansas State to overcome their metrics and their record to get into the big dance.
I'm looking at I wish I would have gotten a chance to watch this game, but looking at the box score alone, Emmanuel Miller only goes for 10. Uday only goes for 3. Jameer Nelson only goes for 9. And you still win this game with 75 points. You got a lot of minutes from your bench, a lot of help from your bench. They figured it out.
Here's what Kansas State has the rest of the way, Aaron. At Texas, BYU at home, West Virginia at home, and then at Cincinnati, at Kansas, Iowa State at home to end the season.
It's almost as bad as UCF. Have you looked at UCF?
Have you looked at Kansas to end the season?
No.
That's not a lot of fun for them either. Let me pull it up real quick. Kansas to end the season, Texas and BYU at home, at Baylor, and then Kansas State at home, which they've already lost to, at Kansas State, and then at Houston.
Whew.
Yeah. Now, Kansas credit, they've got only 2 road games, 3 home games, 2 road games. So they're
Kansas
really
probably
good at the ball,
favored in 4 of those.
Yeah.
Well, if we're looking at standings real quick here, you have in first place, tied at first place, 9-3, Iowa State and Houston. In third place, Baylor at 8-4. In fourth place, Kansas at 8-5. TCU, Texas Tech tied at 7-5. For fifth place, seventh place, BYU at 6-6. Eighth place, Oklahoma at 6-7. Ninth place, Texas, Cincinnati, Kansas State at 5-7.
Yeah.
And then rounding out the end there, you got UCF at 4-8, Oklahoma State at 3-9, and West Virginia at 3-9.
A chance to really get back in the mix in the middle if they can beat Oklahoma State Wednesday. Then you get to 6-7. You're right there sniffing 500.
That's a difference between a favorable matchup in the first round in the tournament or one of these teams that you don't really want to play in the first round of the tournament.
Now, here's something that's interesting, Aaron. Cincinnati goes to Houston in a week and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Houston has Iowa State Monday, Baylor at Baylor on Saturday, and then home against Cincinnati on Tuesday.
I don't hate that.
That could be a night to catch somebody. You know what I mean?
I don't hate that.
Just thinking out loud. Just thinking out loud. This week, Iowa State at Houston, Monday. Big Monday, 9 o'clock.
Lines are out.
Can't miss TV. Okay.
Lines are out. I'm sorry. Houston is favored by 9.5. 9.5.
Over Iowa State?
9.5.
Iowa State that beat Houston at Iowa State a couple weeks ago.
I'm looking here right now. Houston favored 9.5. You can right now catch Iowa State plus 400 on the money line. Plus 400.
I'm looking, 9. I'm shocked at that line.
That is a crazy line.
At that line. Wow. That makes me feel like there's something we don't know. Doesn't it? I feel like that there's something.
You might be the biggest Iowa State. Yeah, you might be the biggest Iowa State fan outside of Iowa State. That's what that's telling you, Chad. Vegas is not believing in Vegas is not believing in Iowa State yet. Rankings haven't come out yet. New rankings haven't come out yet either. And Iowa State's going to be like top 6.
I'm saying like there's something going on behind the scenes that we must not know.
Maybe
somebody's out. Something's going on. Yeah, something that's off. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But
plus 400.
I wouldn't
might just throw,
knowing that.
Might just throw a 10 spot. Might just throw a 10 spot just to see.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. That line stinks. That line stinks. Something is fishy. Something is fishy. That line stinks. Kansas State at Texas. Texas 8.5-point favorites.
Yes, they are.
In that one. And then on Tuesday, UCF at West Virginia. Okay. A really interesting one, Baylor at BYU.
Going back to UCF, UCF's favored 68% to win that one. No surprise there. Sorry, go in with Baylor.
What do you think the over-under is going to be for Baylor at BYU? 180?
Right now, maybe.
I'm being a little facetious, but it'd have to be in the 150, 160 range, right?
I would not have guessed that BYU right now, according to ESPN's analytics, 62.8% chance to win this one.
They're going to be a little angry. They're going to be a little mad after getting smacked. So I think I'd still go with Baylor, but that's going to be that one's going to be high scoring. And then TCU getting back on track, as we talked about, playing better. Texas Tech is now 7-5 in the league. A Texas Tech team that was in the first half of conference play, now sitting at 7-5.
I'd expect Texas Tech to be favored in this one. 66.3% chance to win, according to ESPN.
Houston's a 9.5-point favorite over Iowa State.
Mm-hmm. And looking ahead to Wednesday, Cincinnati's given about a 90% chance to win this game at 89.8 against Oklahoma State.
I think at least through the first half or into the second half, it's going to be interesting. Oklahoma State has that ability to
I won't bet on this game. Yeah, I won't bet on this game before the game. I'll wait until live action and then I'll start making my moves.
All right. That's going to do it. I'm going to bed. You can find me tomorrow, noon to 3, Cincy 360, filling in for Tony and Austin. And then back here tomorrow night for the BBP. We'll see you then. That's the Nightcap, brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken, right here on BearcatJournal.com.
See ya!